Now, before I moved to Los Angeles, which I did not know is one of the catcalling capitals of the universe, I actually used to tweet or write a blog post every time someone harassed me on the street because it was my little way of taking back some power or getting my voice out there.
Taking back some power. You do understand that you having the ability to make men say something to you because you are a woman shows you have all of the power in that situation from the beginning, right? Actually, you don't see that because you like to paint yourself out as a victim. When in all actuality, you have all the power in that situation because you are a woman.
Or, I don't know, just releasing some of that frustration.
I really don't understand why you're so frustrated about it. You could just ignore it and go about your day.
Unfortunately, I've had to stop that practice because if I were to rant every time someone harassed me in a city, I would spend about 1,000% of my time ranting.
Which is why I offer the very, very easy solution. Ignore it, baby. Just don't pay attention to it. Just ignore the comments.
A couple months ago, I was working primarily from home, and I used to spend a lot of my afternoons walking around my neighborhood. And that is when I discovered that catcalling doesn't have to be a thing that happens once in a while. It can actually be a thing that happens every couple steps you take.
Now, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you would have heard me say this phrase before. And that phrase is, on average, most women do not compartmentalize like men. What I mean by that is, a lot of women do not separate separate instances or situations from each other. Like, the way women see the world is as a giant interconnecting web of things that all connects to each other, no matter what it is. This is how a feminist can say all men are potential rapists, because she doesn't compartmentalize that different men do different things. It's just men are all attached to this different abstract idea in her mind, and that's how she sees the world. Men, on the other hand, on average, usually separate different events from each other and look at it linearly, or can separate and say, well, this is one thing and this is that thing and blah blah blah. What you're about to witness here is a fantastic example of a lack of compartmentalization.
The problem is the people who are trying to give you a genuine compliment or are trying to make your day a little bit better by saying something nice to you, and the people who are trying to hurt you or make you feel weird become more and more indistinguishable as time goes on.
Now, a lot of people are probably going to say, hey Zeus, can't men also do that? Yeah, absolutely. Ideologues do it all of the time. A lot of ideologues lack an ability to compartmentalize. However, lack of compartmentalization is something that happens a lot more with women, or at least I've seen happen a lot more with women. Not saying that thinking abstractly is a bad thing, because it's not. It's just depending on what you're thinking about and how you apply it, it can become a bad thing. Kind of the same thing with thinking logically, or primarily logically. It's not a bad thing. It's what you use to come to your conclusions that could make it good or bad. It's just how women are, and there's nothing wrong with both. There are problems that can occur, but women thinking that way can actually have benefits. So I just want to throw that in there so no one says, you're sexist because you think women think differently than men, even though women do think differently than men.
You have a beautiful smile could be a really nice thing to hear to someone, but when it's sandwiched between, I want to take you to my house and do blah 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 to you, or you look like the kind of girl who would blah 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 to me, it starts to all kind of morph into this ugly brown paint of just gross.
Now see, that's an interesting thing. She has seemed to have tricked herself into thinking that men who catcall women are doing that because they want to show the power that they have over women. Instead of her acknowledging the fact that her mere existence causes an emotional response in someone she doesn't know. That, my friends, is an incredible amount of power that she just doesn't see that she has.
It might be a compliment on its own, but it doesn't come on its own. And when you have 5 seconds for your brain to process what someone is saying to you on the street, if they're saying something that could be in any way construed as, I want to hurt you or show my power over you in some way, you're not sorting it through like a bunch of different categories and figuring out how you're going to react to it. You're just feeling anxious. Like someone says anything to me other than hello or what time is it, and I'm gonna freeze up and feel a little bit weird. Not because I'm an insensitive person who doesn't want to appreciate your compliment, but because I have lots of anecdotal evidence that sometimes really bad things can happen from people saying things to me on the street.
See? Lack of compartmentalization. She can't even separate nice comments from other things that can be construed as a terrible thing.
For instance, a couple months ago I was waiting at a red light and someone asked me a question. I looked down at my phone so that I could answer it for them, and in that time he grabbed my butt. He started laughing to show that this was all in good fun and not something I should be worried about, and in that moment I just felt so nervous, so frozen up inside of myself, and so unsure of how to react that I darted away, and the whole time I was walking past him thinking, why didn't I snap? Why didn't I say something to express how wrong that was? Unfortunately, one time when I did holler back when someone said something really vulgar to me in a passing car, he slowed down and followed me a long way and made me really concerned and made me have thoughts like, am I going to die because I tried to fight back against this?
See? Lack of compartmentalization. Someone following you in a car and someone grabbing your butt are two different things. Now, what that guy did was not right. And I understand you feeling uncomfortable when someone grabs your butt when you have no idea who that person is. Or even if you do know the person pretty well. Although I never really get bothered when women grab my butt. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but when my friends or my female friends do it, I mean, it doesn't bother me all that much. I'm kind of an adult and I can, push that off to the side. But, you being followed in a car because you tried to holler back at someone you didn't know, and someone grabbing your butt, again, are two different things. And I can understand you being uncomfortable in both of those different situations. However, they are not the same as someone saying, hi, have a good day, or hello, you are beautiful, or damn, you look great today. They're just not. Again, I understand why you're uncomfortable, but they're not the same thing.
So I understand why someone would want to give me a compliment. First of all, because I'm banging.
Well, at least you have a healthy opinion of yourself.
No, but because the world tells people that women get their validation from being told they're beautiful.
Actually, it wouldn't be the world. It would be women. Go figure, right?
Just like the world tells women that the only thing that matters about us is if we're pretty or not.
Interestingly enough, that's just simply not true. What I mean by that is not true is that the only thing that gives you value is you being pretty. There are lots of other things that give you value, like whether or not you'll be a great mother to your children, or whether or not you're intelligent. Honestly, that is actually the one thing I agree with feminists on, just for different reasons, and for different causes. You see, women feel that pressure not because of society, but because they want to appeal to men the same way men feel pressures like being muscular because they want to appeal to women. It's not society or societal norms or patriarchy, it's biology. It's actually evolution, believe it or not. I know, very interesting. You hear the word evolution come out of a Christian's mouth, but that's just what it is.
So I understand why someone would be defensive if what they're trying to do is make me feel good about myself, and I react like they've just tried to hurt me. However, it can't be my responsibility to sort through every message I receive and figure out what's in that person's head and what's in that person's heart, and know if they mean it well or mean it in a dangerous, I'm going to hurt you kind of way.
How in the fudge can you misinterpret, hi beautiful, have a nice day, or damn mommy, have a blessed day? How? How do you misinterpret that? How could you possibly? The thing that gets me is how these women and these feminists, these feminists, let's just call them what they are, can somehow have or add such a nefarious undertone to catcalling. Again, you guys have my support all day, every day. When it comes to men or anybody putting their hands on you, I got you. When it comes to people following you, I got you. When it comes to people attacking you, I got you. You're right. Those are terrible. They should stop, and you should figure out ways to try to minimize it as best as you can. But someone giving you a compliment or saying, damn, you have a nice ass, they're not trying to hurt you.
And that leads us to the reason why I'm making this video, which is my worst street harassment story ever to date. Hopefully ever, 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 ever. So when I felt a strange man's arms move around my waist. Yeah, some man's arms moved around my waist, And then before I could even process that, he said very loudly in an almost scream in like a scary monster voice, "Happy Halloween!" in my ear suddenly, and then walked off really fast. So first of all, keep in mind, I can defend myself. I have taken self-defense classes, and I have some serious fingernails that I keep nice and sharp just in case I ever need to use them. And yet in that moment, all I could do was curl into myself for a second and just feel totally shocked and confused.
You know, this might not mean much coming from me, considering the fact that I'm just some nappy-headed nigga on the internet, but I am greatly and severely disappointed in you. I really am. I am legitimately disappointed in what you did there. I know, it doesn't mean anything coming from me, but I'm gonna be blunt. That was so ridiculously mundane, it was ridiculous. You know, growing up, I would walk down the street and I would have people trying to kick my ass. Growing up, I almost got into several different fights, which is why I learned martial arts. That's what I had to deal with. Actual people trying to hurt me. The amount of times I'd almost got into a fight, I think I got into fights in high school almost like 3 or 4 times. There have been times where people would mess with me so much that I'd have so much anger inside of me, I would explode and I would just throw desk, well I wouldn't throw desk around, but I'd kick desk and I'd just be so, I'd be furious, absolutely furious. Because people wanted to hurt me, or people threatened me. I can understand you being uncomfortable, I really can, okay? But that was so mundane, it was ridiculous. I can understand you being shocked for a second, okay? I mean, he just shouted Happy Halloween, you know, push him out the way, do something. I mean, you have martial arts training or self-defense training, and you just again, that's what makes me disappointed. I am so disappointed. But you know what? To help you out, I saw this awesome video that offers a great deal of advice to prevent that from happening to you ever again. Check this out.
Mental preparation. Take cold showers at least once a week. Learn how to adapt to shock. Once you learn how to adapt to shock, when it comes to you in real life, you won't freeze. You won't make a stupid move that could cost you your life.
Yeah, let's keep going.
As this man is walking away, and I'm composing myself just enough to scream at him and swear, he yells back, "Get a sense of humor!" And I'm able to take a second to myself and then walk on.
You know, over in the Middle East, so many different bombs and firefights happen so much that people will stop, look around whenever they hear an explosion, and go about their daily lives as if nothing happened. That's how close they are to danger every day. And they don't even react to being hugged by a strange man the way you did. Which really just goes to show just how amazingly privileged you are, and you don't even see it. Huh. Maybe the feminists were right about that whole privilege thing.
Here are some thoughts that I have. First of all, maybe I should get a sense of humor. Maybe this person wasn't trying to attack me, he was just trying to do something funny. Which is a great example of how our culture teaches us that everything is our fault.
Shut up. Just shut up. So I'm gonna end the video there, because the rest of her video becomes very self-indulgent. She starts talking about how she thinks that it's all of her fault, and how she had these different thoughts, and how she shouldn't have had those thoughts. So you guys can go watch that in your own free time over on her channel. However, I made the video response up to this point to highlight 2 very important things. The first was a lack of compartmentalization, and the second was the nefarious undertone that so many of these young ladies place under catcalling. I hear them a lot say that catcalling is a way men continue to have their power over women or some stupid shit like that, with them being none the wiser, not understanding that by them just being a woman is power over a man, that their existence, their mere existence, just the fact that they are what they are, has been able to make a man feel a certain way and respond and say something to her, or to say something about her. That is an incredible amount of power, and the only way that these catcallers or these street harassers get any power over you, young ladies, is if you respond negatively to it, or if you try to holler back or show that it bothered you. If you really want to hurt somebody's feelings, ladies, listen, and you listen well. You don't respond to them. You act as if they are beneath you. You completely ignore it. That, without a shadow of a doubt, will hurt these men a lot more than you saying anything, or taking their picture, or complaining about it. No, you really want to hurt somebody's feelings? I'm giving you the tools to really cut deep into someone's core. Ignore them. Again, there are problems with street harassment that should be addressed, but someone yelling out compliments to you certainly is not wonderful. So that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys got something out of today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below. And as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.